Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Queen's Landing. We're really excited to talk about season 8, episode 4 of Game of Thrones, which is called The Last of the Starks. And a lot of things happened in this episode. It was one of the longer 80-minute episodes, so I think there's quite a bit to cover, and I think we can kind of see where this show's going as far as like where it's going to end. So let's get started. We're joined today by my co-host Melissa and by TYF's film editor, Allyson.
Hi.
So, what did you guys think?
Allie, go first.
But I'm the negative Nancy here. I think the show hates women.
Oh man, here we go.
The
Right
show,
out the gate.
I give this show so many leniencies that I don't give a lot of other things because I'm just so in it at this point. But
Your comment: why do they hate women with this episode specifically?
I'm gonna pronounce her name wrong now. Missandei.
Sunday?
Missandei.
The Sunday.
Her death and like being one of, I don't know, 2 people of color on the show. And they behead her after putting her back in chains as like a slavery allegory. And then there's the fact that Daenerys is being made to be like emotionally distraught, and that's what's going to set her off into madness. There's Brienne sobbing over Jamie losing her and being a scorned lover. There's women hating each other, and that there's the fact that Jon is going to be like the savior because he's a dude, and I love Jon, and I don't like Dany, and I'm still pissed off at how they're handling it. So I just, like, if you needed any proof in the show that only one woman director has ever directed an episode, and I think it was like one episode, this is it. There's just like, there are no women writers, and I'm really sick of seeing fantasy funneled through a straight white dude's vision of it, because there are so many amazing female characters on the show, and I think they're going to end up doing them all a disservice. And I'm
Well,
mad. That's why I said I shouldn't start though.
I think we're kind of jumping the ship already, though. Like, we don't know if she'll turn into the Mad Queen yet. Like, we don't know. I mean, I'm happy that they showed Daenerys getting emotional because I was afraid that they'll show her just not feel anything and just wanted to murder people right away. So I'm happy that they showed her get emotional over one of her, like, that's like her best friend, like one of her oldest advisors that she had that just got killed right in front of her. And I would hope she was gonna feel something. And we don't know if she's gonna go Mad Queen yet. I think she is gonna die probably, but I don't know if she'll go ahead and do what Cersei, like Cersei wants to provoke Daenerys so badly because her plan is to show like Daenerys is the bad guy, and I'm not gonna kill her. She's gonna kill us all. So we don't know if she'll do that yet. So I don't want to jump into the ship that she's just gonna turn into the Mad Queen already. You know?
No, and I get that. I just think the show's never really liked women anyway. Since the beginning. It's just that they've had really great characters to work with, so you can kind of ignore it.
Yeah,
but like,
from a Sunday thing, I think it took something like really huge to provoke Daenerys, though. Like,
but you couldn't have just been the death of another dragon.
That was a huge. I fully expected for that to happen. I don't know. I think it would it would take something really huge, like not only her dragon, but somebody else that, because I think right now like everything is really against Daenerys already. Like the thing is, she's already dealing with the Northerners. Like she knows like they're never gonna follow her. She's lost Jorah. She's lost another one of her dragons, and now she's losing Missandei too. Like everything is against her at this point. She's in a very, very vulnerable state.
I think that kind of gives some credence to like how she's going to react and why she's going to be like sort of just go after them regardless of like hurting the innocent people. I mean, I think that's the only thing that makes it sort of complicated as far as like, because I felt like before that, when like Varys was just pretty much like we need to take her out, you
Yeah.
know. I think it was just based off the fact that she wasn't easy to control, and that's what they were kind of, and the thing is John's, I think, is sort of easy to control in a way because you kind of know what he cares about, and you can sort of
He's
like manipulate
dumb.
that.
He is
Yeah,
so dumb.
I
I feel like
love
if
him, but he is
he
simple as hell.
exactly like
Like,
if he is king, maybe that's why Varys wants him to be king because he will be easier to control. But
right.
if Jon is king, like he's gonna need one hell of a hand because he is so politically dumb. And he's not always the best in military. I'm sorry. Like, will he be a better ruler? I mean, I guess it depends on who you ask. Like, if you ask Varys, yeah, because he's easier to control. But I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, but I feel like I don't know. I just think that that's where I kind of that's how I read it. So I felt like it was good that they killed. I mean, feel bad that they killed the dragon, but
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of just adds. And then just with Sunday dying, I kind of knew when she held hands with Grey Worm that she was gonna die, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
was
I mean, if she loses Grey Worm next week, yo, like, forget about it.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm kind of like just in for the ride at this point
But you like the
because
episode, Gabby?
I thought it was fine. I like some parts more than others.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I like that John ended up telling his family, and then Sansa just totally spilled the tea to Tyrion. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, I need that.
Yeah.
I'm, but yeah, I mean, and then I just sort of liked Arya. I'm really curious to see what Arya does.
I mean, now I expect
I
her to
have
be
a
like that
theory.
last saving grace again so that Daenerys doesn't murder innocent people. Maybe she'll face swap with somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know she's gonna. I mean, and with Jamie writing back, I think he's gonna kill his sister. I feel like that's like a theory that everyone's been wanting to see fulfilled, and
I
I don't
don't know.
know.
I feel like he still loves her. Like that character, like that decision he made to go back to his sister is kind of just making me feel like, ugh. Like this is why I don't like. This is why I've never really been on Jamie's ship. Like I know like a lot of people love him because he has this redemptive arc, but like at the end of the day, like he knows who his sister is and he still loves her.
Yeah, he has this like really big weakness for her, and I don't know. I mean, is he? I don't. I didn't really care for them kind of going this romantic route with him and Brienne in this episode. I
That felt
thought
so awkward.
it did, and I mean, I do believe like they have chemistry, but I thought it was like a little bit more on the platonic
Yeah.
side. And I feel like they kind of forced that in there, and then to have him like, yeah, like I kind of agree with Allie, just like leave her there crying. I mean, it was just so like it wasn't really necessary. Like,
It felt like it felt weird because I feel like they brought up her virginity and like what he went in there to do her a favor. Like
yeah, that was what I meant. It was just weird.
weird.
It. I don't know. It was just really strange to me. And then he runs off to go to his sister, and I'm just gonna hope that it's a killer and not like defend her out of some weirdly place. Like,
It'd be more in character if he did, though.
If he killed her,
Like, I don't know if, yeah, I know if he just went to stick by her because he's a
yeah,
coward.
exactly. Like that's like his biggest weakness. Like I know a lot of people want to see Jamie kill Cersei and fulfill that prophecy, and I think I wanted that too for a while, but now I kind of just want like Sansa to do it because like because Cersei like tormented her the longest. So that's like my wish.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see Sansa going to King's Landing.
I
I
know.
think Arya's gonna do it, wearing
Yeah.
Jamie's face. That's my
She's already killed
prediction.
the Night King though. Like she can't be that much like like
Why
so
not?
powerful.
But she is. She's spent 8 seasons getting to that point, and Cersei was always on her kill list. I think it would make total sense if she went in wearing Jamie's face and killed her.
You
That
think
would be
That's
pretty
my big
cool.
prediction. That's my prediction. Because then the
think
prophecy is still true.
you think Arya is gonna kill Jamie and take his face?
I think she's just gonna be wearing his face. I don't know how the fuck it works. Like, it's
I
not
think
like she has a bag of
killed.
faces. Like,
I think you have to be killed so that your face is taken. Like she's gonna have to kill him if that's the
I think
case.
it's more just supposed to be like she's disguised as them, isn't it? I don't know. The show
It's
has lost me on some of the details a long time ago. But I just think the idea of her carrying around a bunch of faces is bleak.
did you guys
Like,
peep? She did you guys peep? She said that she's not gonna return home. Did that surprise you?
No.
not now. With how
No,
much they hate the women on the show, no.
that didn't surprise me. I mean, like, I didn't take it as, like, something that wasn't, like, I don't know, I didn't think it was, like, a permanent kind of thing. I thought she just meant, what, you think she's gonna die?
I took it permanently. I don't think she's gonna die, but I think like she's such like this like stray cat. Like she goes where she pleases now, right? Like she went home and she fought with her family. They're good for now. Now she has this one name left on her list. She's gonna go try and see what she can do there, and then after that, like she'll go somewhere else. I mean, she's not. I feel like she's not like this settled. She's always been like a different type of Stark. She doesn't want to stay home. She wants.
Feral.
Yeah, exactly. Like I took it as permanent, but not for her death, but her not going home again for a very long time.
Mhm. Yeah, I could see that, and I agree, actually. Like, that's how I took it too. I didn't think of
Yeah,
it as her dying. I think of
yeah,
it as her as just like, "I'm not gonna live that life."
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
I mean, I felt bad for Gendry, though.
I knew she was gonna say no, and I feel like he should have known that too. Like you know who Arya is. Like she does not want to be a lady.
But does he really, really know her? I mean, it's been a
No,
while.
And
she
that's
had
why it's
told
still
him.
weird that he asked.
It felt weird, like. But the thing is, she's told him like time and time again, like don't call me lady, don't call me lady. Like that's not who she is, and he's seeing who she is. So I feel like that was weird that he would even ask her to be a lady of Storm's End. Like, why would she ever say yes?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, at least he's, I don't know, hopefully he has his thing now.
Yeah, that was like an awesome political move on Danny's part. But even with that move, she sees how the Northmen kind of react to John, and it's a threat to her claim.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And then her just like making him promise not to tell anyone. And we all knew he was going to tell people. And I think, I think it's just like these little things are like sort of chipping at her. And it's like
Yeah.
getting to a point where, yeah, she's just going to like, what the fuck? Like, I came all this way. I want the throne. And I think she's really at the point where she'll do anything. And does that make her crazy? I mean,
It was stressing me out because everything is stacked up against her, and I'm like, oh my god, she's losing everything.
yeah.
um, I knew, like, I like that he told his sisters because I feel like that was true to his character, and I feel like I knew that Sansa was not going to keep her word because she had that look in her eye, and it was interesting that Tyrion told Varys, and Varys is very much on the John train.
I think Varys is very much on the anti-Daenerys team. I don't think he's pro-Jon. I think he just sees Jon as the only other legitimate candidate for it.
He's
But I
more
don't
like
think
he's for the realm. He like
yeah,
he's
he
always
doesn't
like
have a
that.
personal stake in it. He just knows that Daenerys would be bad.
Yeah, but it bothered me because he did what he swore not to do, and he's conspiring behind her back, which is pretty slimy.
But it's
He's
what he's
always
always
done.
done.
Yeah, but he said that he wouldn't, and now he is, and you know what? He should die.
I think he's going to die.
He
Me
is.
too.
He is.
I think he is, but I mean, I think really the
I
question
also think
is,
Daenerys is, so
I
yeah,
think she will too. I think she will. Which I feel I don't know, like that kind of like hurts me. It hurts me. I feel like she should have stayed in the East, never should have crossed the narrow sea, and just helped the slaves out.
then she really wouldn't have had a story. Like,
I know. I'm speaking from a very biased point of view. I'm clearly a fan, and I feel like this is like I can't believe I'm kind of watching this deconstruction of her character in a way.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've always been like kind of, I flip flopped on Daenerys just because I don't know. I mean, she just never. I liked her, but at the same time, I just couldn't like agree with a lot of the things that she was doing and the way she did them. Um, and I think, yeah, like I mean, the reason why I always gravitated towards John is just because he's a lot more like honorable, but he is like really stupid.
Yeah.
So it's just
he's
like
stupid, but
he means well. He wants the
in
best for
a
people.
different way. In a different way, like he's more self-sacrificing.
Yeah.
she is. But it's also just why I've always liked the Starks more in terms of like the heroes. Like if we were supposed to pick like out of all the characters, like Dany and
Yeah.
the Starks were kind of pointed as the heroes. It's why I
Yeah.
always like the Starks more, is because it felt like they became more human with each horrible thing that happened to them, whereas she hardened with each horrible thing. And I just think that's like less interesting. I'd rather see people have empathy as the heroes than otherwise. But I
feel
liked her in the season 1. I really did. I thought I was gonna. I don't know what the shift was with the character, but I do think something different happened.
You didn't
But I
like
think
her
they just lost
three
focus.
in season 3. Did you like how she got her army?
No.
The Unsullied?
Yeah, isn't that the scene where she's like being held up, like
No,
by all the people she just freed?
I'm talking about season 3 when she first gets her army and she reveals that she actually understands Valyrian.
No, I didn't like that because to me that felt like a moment that the show put in just to put in the trailers. Like I know I mean it. Like I think for a while they forgot that she was a character and just made her a bunch of like cool things to say. Like she wasn't somebody that ever
It
grew.
was so cool. Because like for the first few episodes, she's pretending she doesn't understand it, and this guy is just discussing how much like of a slut and whore she is, and like the entire time she understands what he's saying. So I feel like it was a power move on her part to kind of like use his own like army against him.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I think it was cool because it was a big moment. It wasn't cool because like the character like was built towards it in a way that if we see John fighting in a huge battle or like sacrificing himself against a big army, we know it's because that's just who John is. Like he's always going to go and do something stupid to save somebody else. Or, even Sansa and the moves that she makes now, we get them because we've seen how she's gone from one version of herself to this. With Daenerys, it's just been like a rinse and repeat of storylines in big moments, in the big moments that everybody cares about because they have the dragons and that's the spectacle part. And I don't know. I think I think part of my dislike of Daenerys is I don't think Emilia Clarke can act. Flat out. But also, the writers just failed her as a character. They just made her too much of like motivational sayings. It's like they thought that's how strong female characters are supposed to be. So they gave her those lines, but they didn't care to actually like make her one. I don't know. I don't like her. And I know that's just always going to be a point of contention. But I understand being disappointed by the show as a fan for like letting her down too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've always kind of been on both sides of the whole Daenerys thing just because I can't really make up my mind on how much I like her. But
Which makes her an interesting character. I mean, that's like an interesting thing because like all of us have like different opinions about her. So she's kind of like a more interesting character for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we kind of touched on everything. Are you ready to do our segments or do you have more to say about the episodes of events?
What else happened?
I don't know. I think we covered it all. Tormund was very jealous of Jaime.
Yeah, I think anything
for like
that
2
we haven't covered.
seconds.
I think anything that we didn't cover would come up in the segments anyway.
Okay.
I promise I won't answer Daenerys for any of them.
It's okay. Go with what you feel.
No, I really won't actually this time around. I have others.
Okay, so our first one is the REEK of the week. Basically, who we kind of didn't really like this in this episode. Allie, do you want to start?
Fucking Jaime, man. Jaime sucks. Yeah. I liked him, even though I was like done with the bullshit of like all the moms in the world loving him because he's such a great guy. But it's like, no, he's not. He just had a redemptive arc. But what a lousy shift of character to go from being like relatively honorable to like just a piece of shit. So I don't like him now. I don't care what happens to him now. He ruined the most interesting part of his storyline, and that was Brienne. So
yeah,
whatever.
weird.
Tim,
Okay.
the loser.
Gabby, go first.
I have to say Jamie's also mine. Because I feel like, I mean, there's quite a few people I don't like in the show, but I think he just like kind of just I don't really just to say what you said, like yeah, he basically took what made him wonderful and kind of just threw it in the trash and left. So that was really really I really didn't like that, and yeah, it's just I sort of feel like a lot. I mean, I sort of cared for him, especially after he knighted Brienne, and now I'm just like, oh, like you should have just died in the Battle of Winterfell.
It would have been a better way to go.
It would have been a lot more honorable and like much more in line with what they were trying to say in the second episode of the season. So yeah. Oops.
It's just like I said, I've never been on the Jamie train, so it didn't surprise me. So I feel like I can't really pick him. I don't know.
It's like you get to this point where there's like we're running out of characters.
I was just gonna say that. It's like harder and harder because it's like the ones that are left are like most of them I kind of like, and it's like weird to root for against people. I don't know. I'm gonna pick John because he just left Ghost. He didn't give him a hug.
Yeah.
Ed, that was terrible, and he lost an ear. I saw that. He like lost half his ear, and I'm a big dog person, so I felt bad for Ghost.
Mm-hmm. John was like, I mean, John's also a good one because he was just kind of like, you know, like the kind of like the dad who has like all the daughters, and he's just like this the entire time because he doesn't know what to do in difficult situations.
Oh man,
that was like John this episode. It's like I don't know what to do. Okay, anyway. All right, so our next segment is Lord and Lady Commander, which is basically our MVP of the episode. So who wants to go first?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say Varys because I think he had the most in character moment. I think I genuinely think a lot of the writing for the characters this season has been like fitting to the season and to the storyline rather than what's natural for the characters to do. And he felt natural. Like it's like this is what he would do. He told her that he would tell her to her face if he thought she was making a mistake. And I thought that was really strong-willed of him, and Tyrion I've missed being interesting characters for a couple of seasons now, and I think both of them got the chance to kind of show why they've stuck around this long and why they've managed to survive. It's because he's smart. Did I like some of the bullshit that he was saying about like a man in power? No, but I just thought that it made the most sense and it came from the most like logical place of thought, whereas everybody else was acting insanely like and just making poor choices the entire time. So I'm gonna go Varys, especially since I have a feeling we don't have many more episodes to say that about him. Well, I mean, technically we only have like 2, but
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. We don't have a lot more time because I think he's gonna bite it.
Yeah.
How do you think he'll die? Just curious.
Didn't she say that she would like burn him alive?
She did, and I was thinking about that, but it's only
That's gonna happen.
Only if she finds out that he's conspiring against her. Do you
I
think
she's
Tyrion's
gonna find out?
Huh?
No, I don't know. I don't think Tyrion's gonna tell, but I think she's gonna find out anyway.
Yeah, I think she's gonna burn him alive because like that was their whole thing, and it'll be like their way to come full circle with the story.
I feel like that would also be like the action that makes Tyrion realize that like she really is kind of like gone. Yeah. Because he seems to be flitting. He was like, I'm not really sure. No, I'm still being loyal. So yeah, that makes sense. Mine is Sansa because I think she's really, really great. And just like a lot of her scenes, I just loved when she stand up to Daenerys and she told her about like, you know, giving the army more time. And I felt like it was coming from like a genuine place. Like she was really cared about the people of the North. And I don't know. I just think Sansa's like the one who's going to be the best leader of all the, you know, kind of contenders to the throne.
Yeah.
And I like that she told Tyrion. I mean, it's a very calculated move of hers, but I think she knows John, and I think she knows that this might be the best thing for them.
And she knows that Tyrion's smart and now will keep a better eye on things
Yeah.
by knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stressed out. Oh my god. I don't know. What is this again? The damn VP?
Yeah, your favorite character in the episode.
You know, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say Daenerys, because she ended up listening to that dude and did not charge in blazing and killing the innocents. She went into but we're talking about this episode. We're talking about this episode. She decided to listen to Varys and to go to talk to Cersei before deciding to kill them. So I gotta go ahead with my girl Dany.
Okay. So our next segment is Swing the Sword, which basically who you want to kill in this episode. Or who you wish will die. I mean, again, we're getting less and less to choose from. So
I'll go ahead and say Jaime.
I was just gonna say Euron Greyjoy.
So was I. Because first the dragons.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I have to wonder if that was not a calculated move on their part to save budget for the last 2 episodes. Same with Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I thought for Ghost.
That's why Ghost has never been shown, and I'm so pissed because I'm pissed at how the direwolves have been done on this show. But yeah, I think getting rid of a direwolf and a dragon in the same episode, and now without all the army of the undead, at least have a huge budget for the last 2 episodes. Seriously. So I have to wonder if a part of them was sure, storylines, but also fancy fight sequences where people can actually see what's going on.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
But yeah, Euron just sucks. He doesn't fit the tone of the show. The actor is doing this weird pirate thing, and I hate it. It takes me out of it instantly.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, I know he's technically a pirate, but the pirate thing bothers me.
He's doing a caricature of it.
Yeah,
it's Disney evil villain type of thing going on.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit the tone of the show.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I agree.
He feels like he belongs in Once Upon a Time or something.
Yeah.
Right. I bet he was on it.
One of their worst villains.
Okay, so our final segment is GREENSIGHT, which is our theories. And I know we kind of touched some, but do you guys have any specific theories for next or predictions for next week's episode?
For next week's,
I'm not sure if we'll see Daenerys die in 5 or 6. I'm not sure about that.
I think it would be in the last one.
In the last one?
Yeah, I think the 5th one, it would have to be really, really rushed. They would have to steamroll that storyline. But I do think Dany or Cersei would die in the next episode, because I don't think it makes sense. Because I think they're going to chip away at the last fights, So I don't think both Cersei and Dany can make it to the series finale.
Interesting.
Because I think it's it'll be that last hurdle, and then all of a sudden, if it's Daenerys left, and they realize, oh, Daenerys has gone Mad Queen, and then that's the final battle. So I don't know. I have a hard time. I don't know how they could wrap up the entire show with both of them alive in the last episode. I guess that's a lot of storytelling to get through.
That's true.
I mean, granted, they are 80 minutes each, but yeah, I agree. I do think Cersei is going to die next week. Just because I feel like just the way they've structured the season, they want it to come down between Jon and Daenerys.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're going to end it in the finale, whereas opposed to, I think they just kind of have to check off the Cersei box first, like they checked off the Night King last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess now I feel more unsure, only because I feel like Daenerys has lost so much. When she was out in that field with only 14 unsullied, I'm like, oh my god, this is so sad. She barely has an army.
Well, yeah, I think they did that just to show They just sent
Yeah.
like a small group anyway for that, didn't they?
Perhaps, but like she had all her scorpions and all her archers on the wall. That was a huge risk.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wonder, like, how is she going? I mean, she has one dragon left, but still, like, Drogon could easily be taken out. So it's gonna be
God,
interesting
that
to
pissed
see how
me off.
she wins against.
I think a lot of people are gonna die, but I think basically it's gonna be kind of play like the Battle of Winterfell, where there's gonna have to be someone inside who's gonna like take out Cersei, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think the Hound. I mean, well, she's going with the Hound, right, Arya? So wouldn't and he's after his brother. So like,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they kind of just team up, and she gets Cersei, and he gets his brother.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
That's really kind of my one big prediction, and some of it's like, God, that'd be so cool. But that's my one prediction because I think they know everybody's predicting the whole Jaime's going to kill Cersei, and I think it'd be more interesting if they're like, well, technically she thinks he did, but
yeah,
it was really Arya. So then it's still getting that blow of like the person who was supposed to love me killed me, and Arya gets to check that person off her list.
hmm
So
That's
that
a
makes
lot.
sense.
I know, but I'm pretty sure you have to kill someone to get their face.
I think that's true, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I don't
don't see. I hated that whole
really.
sequence of events in the
I
show.
don't
Anyway,
Arya, like, I don't see Arya, like, why she has a reason to kill Jamie, unless like
she
she's told he's going back to like love his sister, and then like she'll be like, well, I guess I can kill you now, and then like stabs him, and then gets his face.
he did push her brother out a window.
No, I mean, it's totally fine. Like, I don't like Jamie, so I'm fine with him dying.
I'm just trying to think of reasons.
I mean,
Um,
unless Jamie is trying to stop Arya from killing, like she kind of like meets up with him first, and then she just ends up killing him, and then decides to use his face.
I have no idea. I think my whole theory just got debunked, really. But it would have been cool.
It would
would've
be
been cool.
cool because I just feel like with the Hound and Arya together, I mean, it just seems like that would be their clear purpose. So, like,
Yeah. The odd couple.
yeah,
Have to save the day.
right,
Kill some folk.
yeah. Any more predictions, or I think that can.
don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna say yes. Cersei will die by next episode. I'll just say
Okay,
that. Because,
okay.
Yeah.
Episode 6 is about the Starks and Daenerys duking it out.
Watch us all be wrong and all the Starks die.
No.
I doubt it. I feel like
I mean, I do too.
Yeah.
They're really like, here's our twist.
Here's our twist.
All the good guys
I
are going to
mean,
die.
I feel like that's a pretty big twist. Having the good guys, like both good guys that people have been rooting for, like going up against each other is very like unconventional usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm just gonna go on this ride, see where it takes
I
us.
know. At this point, it's like I watched this to finish it, and I like watched Killing Eve right before to like get really excited.
Yeah.
That's a good show to like hype you up.
Yeah, and then I get to this, and I'm like, ugh. How can one show love women so much and one show hate women so much?
I've been feeling like I've been watching it just to see it end finally. But in this episode, I have to say, like, it like kind of kept me stressed out because I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? Because there's just so much tension like in the north that I'm just like, holy fuck. And then that whole thing happened with Missandei, and it's just her dragon. It's just everything's up against her. So I'm like, okay, I'm in this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think that's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks everyone for watching. Subscribe to us on YouTube at TYF Official, and of course tune in next week when we watch the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones and we discuss it.
Oh
and you can follow all of us on Twitter. Our handles are on the screen. So yeah, I think oh my God, it's crazy.
Like 3 hours left.
Yeah, we do. Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, good night.
Guys, next week.
Bye.
Bye.